He has done so very much for me. Lord, we lift you up. When you're my man, I will give you. You've done so much for me. I cannot tell you all, God. He has done so very much for me. Hey, done so much for me, cannot tell it all.
Hello, hello, hello. Good evening. And you're on to Augustine Chukwegu. And I'm here to give us a quick broadcast. And the title of my broadcast is I'm beginning to have exponential growth. That's the title of my broadcast. And I'm going to spend the next few minutes to enlighten us of what TBC has achieved to the best of my own understanding. And I'm believing God to give you the best. And previously, I know I said that TBC is going to make sense very well this year. And I also said that there are a number of groundworks that the admin has really put in place alongside with Pantera Doro. My previous broadcast bordered on it, especially. My previous broadcast talked about TBC and SEC. A good number of us may have watched it, but if you've not watched it, please do make out time, watch the video. It's not long, it's about 45 minutes. You may not finish it. If you can finish it, good. But if you can't finish it, then fine, no problem. Watch the much you can. And in our broadcast for today, there are a number of things I'm going to point out. And going forward, I'm going to also make sure that I do more broadcasts. Going forward, I would make sure that I would be able to do broadcasts at least 3 times in a, I'm looking at 3 times in a week or 4 times in a week. And the number of days that I'll be doing my broadcast will be on Mondays, will be on Wednesdays, Fridays. Sometimes I may do it on Saturdays. I'm not so certain on Saturdays, but I am certain that Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, I'll be doing broadcasts. Okay? So for those of us that will be watching this broadcast, please do not forget to plug in. My time for Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays is likely going to be 5:30 p.m. Well, most likely 5:30 p.m. And for the next 30 minutes, I'll run it 6 p.m. I'll close my broadcast. Now, back to my topic. We are beginning to have exponential growth. Something I want to point out here is this. Please, before we continue, like my video if you find it interesting. I wouldn't want you to do it out of sentiment. If you enjoyed my video, feel free, like my video. That will be at the end of the video. And also subscribe to my channel. The reason why I do say subscribe is because a number of events will be unfolding by the day. And as it's unfolding, it's my responsibility as TBC builder or TBC broadcaster to inform the community about how the TBC is growing or how the Kringle Private Society is growing. All right, now let's begin. Before we begin, the first thing I want you to know, I will do it practically. I'm going to cite examples of why I did say we are growing exponentially. But you see, before I will do that, I'm going to make use of one of the blogs that the admin has already put out to explain in details how we are growing exponentially. Okay? As soon as I'm through with that, the next thing I go into will be the Kringle Cash. In the Kringle Cash, there are a number of things I'll point out to us. And then after I have finished pointing out a number of things to us, by the day, the admin is improving our technology. He's improving our technology and he's making us more formidable or stronger, as the case may be. And I do give him an applaud for that. So after I finish the information I want to pass across as regards our increment in growth on an exponential rate or at an exponential rate, then I would invite us into the Kringle Cash back office, point out a number of things to us, and then after we've done that, we'll move into the merchants, and then we'll point out how well we've done within the merchant space. That's exactly what I'm going to do. And I guess by the time I'm through, my 30 minutes would have expired. I will try as much as possible to keep to my timeline. I wouldn't want to exceed my timeline, okay? So the first thing I would like to do is to share my screen with us. So let me share my screen. Please hold on while I do so. All right, so this is my screen, and I guess everyone is seeing it. Now, this is the recent blog that the admin put down. Red Lion Team TBC organization, Ozams City in Cebuano. Okay, now admin is trying to point out something here. He's saying, would love to have send button meetings in Cebuano, meaning that plans are now being made, or he is speculating that very soon this should also become a send button meeting. Now let's have a look at it. Let's just open it. This is not what I'm bordering on here, but this is like an orientation or an organization that is trying to educate people about TBC. And the lady in charge here, I don't know her, but maybe when we watch the video, we'll get to know more. Now, this is not what I'm bordering on. I will quickly give us quick updates on the blog for today, and I go into the topic. Now, this is 777 and TBC timing is everything. You could watch this. I watched the video. How to earn 6 million cookies every week. This was done by Stephen Caffey. I also had a look at it. Now, another one is, are you among the brainwashed masses under the control of the elites? Or has TBC freed your mind? Now, this is very important. This was done by Derek Umbe. You may need to watch this. Derek Umbe is wonderful. Now, another one that I also want to point out here is this. This was done by Bitcoin Randy. Honestly speaking, I do admire Bitcoin Randy because of the way he goes about his approach to life. You know, on this particular video, he talked about profits are better than wages. In a nutshell, he was trying to make you understand that there are routines that every human beings do. Wake up in the morning, have your bath, brush your teeth, go to work, and then come back. And at the end of the year, end of the month, they give you just a little amount of money to sustain yourself. And at the end of it, you'll find out that you work extremely hard. They don't give you so much money. And maybe you may get a second job, you get a third job. And you know, it has been ingrained into the consciousness of people that it is very normal to work hard to make money. No, you don't need to really work extremely hard to make money. That's the concept the elite has given to us. To believe that you must die before you make your money. Now, come to think of it, by the time you've worked for the elite for 35 years, for those who are employed by the federal government or private firms, now, after you do so, you are giving pension. Now, the pension that you are being given, now I'm giving a case study here in Nigeria. Pensions that they are giving, you are not able to receive the money the way you're supposed to receive it. You find out that all your life you work for the elite, you improved yourself, and after everything, you amount to nothing. Now, the admin, sorry, the voice of TBC is giving an alternative. What's the alternative? His alternative is go into business. Now, what kind of business can you go into? There are several kinds of business. But now, let me tell you what baffles me. The concept of bringing in TBC to the matter is what baffles me. You can actually be at the comfort of your home and do business using TBC. Facebook is there, LinkedIn is there, Join Me is there. These are social medias you can use to interact with your friends. Some of you can also use Snapchat. Some of you can also use Instagram, as the case may be. It's your own jurisdiction to decide how you want to use it. It's a simple thing. Just engage with them a little while and then send them a gift. That's all. Send them a gift. When they get that gift, then they click on the link. You could now ask them a number of questions, and gradually they become members within the TBC community. And guess what? When they've studied it for a while, they may be interested, and they can decide to pay as little as 10 grains of gold, between 10 and 40 grains of gold, as the case may be. However, it's not limited to that alone. You can also increase your stake. If you want it to be more than that, it's all up to you. All right. Now, on your own, you could take your time, look through a number of things. The admin has been very consistent in throwing blogs to us. You know, the community is growing more by the day. You could take time to look at also this one, homeopathic medicine available worldwide as 50% TBC in Bengali. You see, the community is growing, and I do appreciate it. This one is large transactions. It's trying to encourage the community. You should not limit yourself to lower grains of gold. Go for 40 grains of gold. That's just $100. Well, I wouldn't want to say just $100 because I understand that there are some people within the country, within the world, that are not able to afford $100. Whatever you can afford, purchase it and hold on. If you can bring in 2 people and then let those 2 people bring in 2 other people, you are getting 1.1 TBC. However, the admin is encouraging. Make sure you do your own part. All right, now this is the title. Sorry, this is the blog that I want to talk about. I'm going to read about it, and then after reading about it, I give you my own insights, and I quickly call it. Okay, then I move into the Gringo Cash, and then I move into the merchant, and I'll call it a close. Remember that I'll be here again by Friday. By Friday, it will be Friday 5:30 West African time. So 5:30 Friday West African time. I'm going to read the whole of this blog because this blog has so much to pass across. Now let me start. Our objective in TBC is to gather 1 billion members as fast as we can. From a marketing point of view, we can break the S-curve into 4 parts. 1, infancy. 2, concentration. 3, momentum. 4, stability. Let's go together. I would say we have passed the infancy stage here in TBC. All right. Now, this is the S-curve. We're going to understand how this S-curve is explained on this blog. Now, let me, as much as possible, be very quick in reading. Now, what does SW mean? Some will, some won't. So what? That's nice. Now, every offer in the world experiences SW. Our invitation to receive a gift of redeemable cookies valued at 1 ounce of gold is no different. The point to so what is to not get hung up on those that fall into some wounds. Place all of your attention on those that belong to the some will category. Now, the only value of the some wounds category is the search for ways to improve our approach in order to reduce the numbers in that category. Now, outside of that, very little attention should be given to those falling into the some wounds camp. Now, for example, if you invited 10 people to receive the gift and 2 of them accepted it, You should see the victory of how you have helped two people to improve their lives. And certainly should not feel disappointed about the 8 that declined our gifts. Now, don't get what the 8 did. Don't take what the 8 did in this example personally. So what should be the attitude and just move on. The human tendency to count losses needs to be overcome with an attitude adjustment. Always stay positive. Improvement comes out of positive state of mind. I think admin is right. Improvement comes out of a positive state of mind. I remember in the previous years while we're dealing with TBC 004, at a point our wallet completely shut down, but admin did not lose faith. He continued to improve on the technology. In fact, admin is I can't comprehend the kind of wisdom with which he's operating. I do admire the way he goes about things. His positive state of mind concerning the TBC community has made us go thus far. He has provided all the platforms and has given it to us to use. And I think that's a good one. I know that we're going to experience challenges as time goes on. So many kinds of challenges. I know that at a point, the elites will come to fight us. I know that at a point, the government will use all their means. I know the government, the banks, so many systems will come to fight us. Why are they going to fight us? It's simple, because they understand that we are going to cause their system over time to become obsolete. And they are not going to they are not going to fall without a fight. Although they will try, but the concept is that by the time they have come to that point of realization, it will be too late. Why? Because our technology is daily being improved. And as it's being improved by the day, we are getting ready for when the enemies will strike. I call them enemies in this case because some may be acting out of ignorance, some may not. All right. Now, let me continue. I will have more to say on SW. But now, I would like to talk about the S-curve. The S-curve represents the adoption rates. Over time, adoption rates over time. Our objective in TBC is to gather 1 billion members as fast as we can. From a marketing point of view, now we can break the S-curve into 4 parts. The concept of marketing point of view is what he's trying to portray. Let's see. The first one is infancy. Second one is concentration. Third one is momentum. Fourth one is stability. Now, I would like to say we have passed the infancy stage here in TBC. We had quite a bumpy road during our infancy. That was when we were in TBC 004. Now, I'm glad that part is behind us now. Now, we are currently in the concentration stage, and low growth numbers are normal during this stage of development. Now, let me reserve my comments and continue. At some point, we will hit what is called critical mass. Now, at critical mass, the momentum stage kicks in, and that's when we will see TBC community growth at least double on a monthly basis, and we will experience monthly exponential growth. And many will be surprised within that stage how fast we got to 1 billion members. Now, I think there is a misconception or misperception right now within the TBC community. Now, that we should already be in the momentum stage. That's wishful thinking. The cryptocurrency frontier, which is Bitcoin, is only 10 years old, and that's not even a whole generation of people yet. Yes, technology and information age do speed up adoption rates and revolutions such as ours, but people are creatures of habit, and it takes time to change what people do. What we need right now is more members staying focused during their concentration phase. We need the effect of accumulation and not a revolving door. We're in a marathon, not a sprint. We can meet all needs right now, regardless if they are short-term or long-term. So let's use this means to establish a state of accumulation. Now, what does that mean? By saying we can meet all needs right now, regardless of whether it's short-term or long-term. Now, when he's talking about the short-term, it means cash flow. When he's talking about the long-term, it is building the TBC community at large. When it's a system, full-blown TBC economy of 1 billion. Now, there's something I want to make very clear. When we get to 1 billion, that doesn't mean that we are stopping at 1 billion. But by then, we must have gained global acceptance. Now, I want us to understand that Bitcoin, even though Bitcoin is having a sense of global acceptance, Bitcoin adoption is not, I don't think it's up to 2% of the global population of the world. Those who are working with Bitcoin, as at this level, they are not up to 2% of the global population of the world. But I know that when we are getting to 1 billion, 1 billion would have been at least more than 15 to 20% of the global population of the world. Now, we are one of the kind of cryptocurrencies that is going to create the greatest change that humanity would ever experience. Because when we are in 1 billion, where do you think the coin market cap will be by then? Now, bringing into limelight the concept of massive growth, exponential growth, where do you think the coin market cap will be by then? When people begin to see that this is a coin that has a relative stability, and they see that this coin rises and falls, what do you think the opinions of people will be? Well, I leave that as a rhetoric question for you to answer. Now, let me continue. Let's talk about critical mass for a moment now. Here's what that will look like for us in TBC. Now, we will have at least 100,000 views send button meetings every week being done in about 20 or more languages. The 24/7 broadcast will be several pages a day of backup, shows, and anyone around the world can tune in live to participate in their native language or native tongue at their convenience. Every show will have guest interviews of members sharing their personal cash flow stories and how TBC has changed their life for the better. Hosts of these shows will be knowledgeable to answer any questions that comes up in the chat area of the show. Now, these shows become like a non-stop electrical current that everyone can plug into at their convenience. It won't matter what time of the day it is or what part of the world someone is in. At their convenience, they can plug in. Community morale will be very high because of it. A Me Too effect will kick in. People all around the world will be getting TBC invitations from multiple friends, and people don't like the feeling of being left out. Critical mass will be a natural result. Critical mass will be the natural result. The moment of critical mass is so explosive, it can be pinpointed down to a single day, meaning that the day it happens, you will find out that it's obvious. You'll be moving at that pace continually. Now, let me continue. The funny thing is, we already have enough members right now to create this moment of critical mass. We just lack the concentrated force on the community to make it happen now. All right. I think I will only stop at this paragraph because I don't have time anymore. Now, back to SW. We have about 10,000 people a day signing up right now. The admin is trying to make you understand that 10,000 people who may not have paid their $10, maybe out of them, a good number of people from the 10,000 people may have paid their $10. I don't know. But it's obvious 10,000 people come in, register, but they've not paid their $10. That's what makes the community steady, because we are a self-regulating or an independent community that is not in the control of the government or any institution of the world. Now, that's very exciting. Sponsors need to improve on the transactions of invitation. Now, inviting people to receive a gift is just the first invitation in a series. Next is the invitation to complete the profile in your KCPO. The most important invitations are listed out on the dashboard of KCBO. Now, we need to focus on concentration focus our concentration on the 5-day plan to duplicate success. Duplication will bring us the moment of critical mass and momentum. Duplication will bring us to the moment of critical mass and momentum will become a smooth ride for all. Anytime admin says everything, he's always laying emphasis on for all. Now, I hope the sponsors are using all the tools within your KCBO, all the tools in their KCBO, like the invitation tools. Now, if you go into your Crinkle Cash back office, you'll see all these ones. Now, I wouldn't want to continue because I have a limited time. Yes, I know. I have this one and I know I have this one, but on your own, you could take your time and read through. The point I'm actually driving at is we have started experiencing that exponential growth. Let me quickly go to my Crinkle Cash and explain it to us. Are you seeing this our bulb or are you seeing this our globe? The globe is now beginning to spin like seriously. When you look at it, you find out that a number of people coming into the community now are becoming very much. This is just a typical instance. I wouldn't want to go into it. That's it. Now, what I want to just give us an idea about is our daily growth. Now, I want to just pay attention to this particular one. Now, let's just have a look. This is from 10th of January, and then this is 28th of January. Let me see if I can get it much closer. All right, let me see if I can work with this one for now. Now, this was on the 16th of January. This was 3,320,690. Now, the next one was 988. Let's pick up our calculators and then do the calculation. I'll try as much as possible to be quick on it. Now, this is 988 subtracted from 690. That is 298. Now, what's the difference between, now this one is 3,023,233. And then this one is and subtracted from 322,988. 245. Coming to the next one. Now, this is 480 subtracted from 400. And this is, now all these ones has been on the 20s. Now, I want to come to this point. I think at this point, this is 325, 147, and subtracted from 324, 798. Now, we have entered into the 30 mark. Now, let me also give another instance between this and this. And this one is 320, no, not this one. This one 325, 147, subtracted from 324, 798. No, I made a mistake. 325, 147, subtracted from 324, 798. Now, it's still in the 300 category. Let's look at these two. This one is 416, subtracted from 147. Okay, now let's check this one out. This one is 991, and then this one is 628. 991, 628. Now, the point I'm driving at is we are beginning to grow fast. Now I'm going to look at this last two. This one is still going on, it's still counting. I don't want to go into that. Let me look at this last two. This one is 326, and then this is 400, and then this one is subtracted from 325,991. Now we've come into the realm of 400. Now this is 409. Now if you agree with me, I actually started with 200. We entered 300. Now we're on 400. Now we're going to continue on this consistent note for a while until we get to a point 500, then 600, then 700, and all that and all that. So you see, the bottom line is that we are beginning to have exponential growth. Now, what do you think it will look like in another 6 months from now? Well, I'll leave that to you to answer. Now, the last thing I want to actually point our attention is your profile. They have done some modifications on the profile. One of the modifications that they've done on the profile is your pictures now, you can see it. So for those of us who have pictures, you can add your pictures, okay? Now, I think that's fine. Now, I'll stop here, and then I'll log out. There's no other thing for me to talk about here. The last thing I'm going to talk about is the merchants. There are two people who have been studying these merchants for a while. I know that the admin said that the merchants will start small and over time it will grow. Let's quickly look into India. India. Now, India, how many states? These are the number of states. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, Nigeria. Nigeria has the highest. Nigeria has about 22 states. I'm fortunate to be a Nigerian. Now, we have 22 states. On your own, you could take your time to look at them. Okay? The one that is most challenging is the one in Lagos. Lagos has really improved. And I really appreciate it. Hold on, please. Now, if you look into Lagos, you see that a number of merchants are already coming in. Sorry, I'm busy. All right, sorry, someone was trying to call my attention. The number of merchants are much. If you look through, you will see them. They are quite much. On your own, you could look at it. Now, one thing I want to point out is this. As much as possible, do not allow, because you can't actually guarantee who are the people here that are here for sincere motives. Some could be scammers. I came across one of them. That one was precisely, let me show it so that the TBC community could be aware. That's in Jigawa. And in Jigawa, it's only one place I've seen. And only one merchant. According to him, is accepting 80% Kringles and then 20% cash for cars. That's not sustainable. It's sustainable business. Assuming it's 20% Kringles, 80% cash, that's good. Now this, I am not saying he's a scammer, but he could probably be. I had an engagement with him. Please, TBC community members, be careful on how you deal with people. Okay? Now, I want to stop here. I just showed us that we are beginning to experience exponential growth. On your own, take your time, explore the Kringle Cash. Okay? I'm going to be here again by Friday evening by 5:30. I'll take my time to explain a number of other things. So for those of us who are still interested, take your time and read through this. If you want to find it, just go to your Kringle Cash, your blog, and type SW, and it will bring this out. Okay? That's it. I think I'm going to stop here. Thank you very much, audience. You've really done well to have listened. I know I took 5 minutes of my time. Sorry for the stretch. I promise to abide or constrain myself to my timeline next time. Thank you very much, everyone that listened or watched my video. I really do appreciate. All right, I think I'll stop here. And I don't know if there are questions, but even if there are questions, please feel free. Let me drop my link. Maybe you have questions to ask me on a personal note. And before I go, that reminds me, before I go, I'd like to also share my screen one more time with us. There is something I also want to share with us. Okay, it's like I disabled my chat. I think I disabled my chat. I'll check out, that's my comments. I think I disabled it. Next time I should be careful to activate it so that people can talk. Now, for those of us that would need to, let me share my screen one more time, please. Now, for those of us that want to know more, please, I want you to feel free and then come here and then read through. All the informations are here. Now, the Billion Coin Academy is a place if you want to learn how to do cash flow. Kindly click on it and you get proper information about it. Now, if you're also interested in signing up, I think I didn't use this link properly. There should have been a double slash in front. So if you can, please go ahead, work with it, and then use the double slash, or I may need to edit it so that if any other person comes in, he can click on the link. All right? Thank you very much. I'll stop here. So feel free, let me show us the Billion Coin Academy. This is the Billion Coin Academy. Now, in this, the Billion Coin Academy, you can do cash flow. You can have a very good understanding about TBC. There are different classes, the introductory class, masters, advanced learners. All you need to do is come here and sign up. That's all. As soon as you've signed up, then every other thing follows from there. Okay? You can take your time, read through every information you need to. This is our logo sign. I just like it this way. All right, I think I've spent more than enough. Thank you very much. All right, so I'll stop here. Please, if you did not watch from the beginning, feel free, start it again. And I didn't activate my chat area so that people can interact. My sincere apologies. But tomorrow, I'm going to make, Friday, I'll make sure that I put in my chat so that everyone can interact, put informations, and I'll respond. All right, thank you very much for audience. God bless you. We shall see on Friday evening by 5:30. Cheers, bye for now.